weather's really turned it on for the first day of school. But it's so good to see people again. So good to have schools open again. Good morning, boys and girls. So one of the really interesting things about the new school year is that we can't be together for assemblies at the moment, all in the same room. So I can do assemblies on your screen in your room. And that means, ooh, I think I stepped on a fish. That means I can do assemblies from anywhere. Even here, at 6 o'clock in the morning, in the fog and the rain. I didn't know you got fog and rain at the same time. Turns out you do. In the sea. I could do an assembly from here. I could even do assemblies from here. So last week we talked about the time capsule, and I know that you've all been thinking really hard about what you're going to put in that time capsule and the sorts of things about this year, which has been really special, probably not in a good way, but a really special year that you can put in that box. So I hope you've been thinking really hard about that. But this morning I want to talk about you. I just realized it's not this morning, is it? Because it's this morning now, but you're watching this in the afternoon. So this afternoon I want to talk about you. I'm a pretty simple person, and I like to keep things really, really easy at school. And that's why we only have 3 rules here at Burray Primary School. 3 rules to help you make the right decisions on everything to do with school life. I'll show you what they are. Now I know that in your classrooms with your teachers, you've been talking about these 3 things since you came back, and I know that you know them really well. But it's really, really important that we talk about these things. Kind, ready and safe. In terms of being kind, it's one of the things that we do so well at this school, and you're so nice to each other. But it's a really important thing to remember just now for a few reasons. One is you haven't been at school for a very long time, and probably some of the people here at school you haven't seen in a really long time. So you want to be really kind and make sure that you look after your friends and look after the people around you, and that we all have a nice time here at school, because it can be a bit scary. It can be a bit nerve-wracking. You can be a bit worried when you're coming back to school, especially if you're one of the little people in P1 and you haven't been to school before. So it's really important that people are being kind to you and that you're being kind to other people. It's also really important that you're kind in the way you move around the school, and that you look after the school and you look after your belongings and all that sort of thing. In terms of being ready, well, there are lots of things you can do to be ready to school. You can come in with all your things, you know where they are, you're ready to learn. Being ready is being able to listen. So make sure you're looking at people, you're looking at teachers, you're listening to what they say, and that you're doing what they ask you to do. And being ready is also about having confidence and taking a risk and being ready to try new things. And of course, being safe. Well, a lot of our rule changes have been about being safe. That's why you've got a different entrance and exit, and that's why you'll see things like hand sanitizer in your room, and that's why we're asking you to change your routine slightly and have different lunch times. Because we want to keep you safe. We also, not only do we want to keep you safe, I want to make sure that you keep all the adults in the school safe. Now the rules are that the children in the school, you guys, you don't have to stay separate from one another. You can be close to one another. But the adults, we need to make sure that we keep our distance from each other and from you. And we need your help to do that. So if you're thinking about your teacher in your classroom, just be really conscious that unless you need to, and sometimes you do need to, but unless you need to, just take a step back and give the adults in the school lots of room. And especially important for the adults that come to visit us, if they come to teach us art or music or PE and things like that. Just make sure that you give them plenty of space so that they've got enough distance around themselves. That's a really important thing to do. I have been so impressed with the start to the year that you've made. It's such a weird, different situation, and you've handled it really, really well, and you've done everything we've asked you to do. So really well done on that. Now, I don't know whether your teachers have done star pupils again, because I was supposed to have this ready for Monday, but I wasn't here on Monday. but I might come round to the classrooms before I go today and just check to see who the star pupils are, because it's really important that we have that in place. I've got one piece of homework for you, not really homework, but something I want you to think about before next week. What do you think would help you, thinking about being kind and ready and safe, what do you think would help you here at school to follow those 3 rules really well? What could we do as adults to help you, to give you maybe an incentive, that's something to look forward to, maybe some sort of prize, if you're following those rules? Some of you who've been here before might remember our kind, ready and safe cards. We've still got those. But is there anything else that we can do to help, do you think, so that everyone knows what it is they have to do? Have a think about that. If you think of an idea, come and let me know. I hope you've been working on the time capsules. Can't wait to hear what you're going to put in them. Have a brilliant day, and I'll be back on your screens next week. No, it's all right. I'm not sick. I've just got that Shetland pony disease. Yeah, just a little horse. Still, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to worry about this long hair on your neck. That's the main thing. I haven't written these down or anything, Vavi. I'm just making them up on the hoof.